The Zephyrian scavenger ship Crystal Wind detected the massive human vessel floating dead in the void of the Kepler Nebula. Captain Thyra Vex studied the readings with growing excitement. The human battlecruiser appeared completely lifeless, drifting like cosmic debris after what seemed to be a catastrophic battle. "Scan shows no power signatures, no life signs," reported her scanning officer Jorik. "Hull integrity is at 40%. Whatever hit this beast hit it hard." The human ship was enormous, easily 4 times the size of their modest salvage vessel. Thyra had heard stories about human military technology. Their ships contained rare quantum processors and antimatter cores that could fund a dozen scavenging expeditions. "Begin approach vectors," Thyra ordered. "Standard salvage protocols. This could be our biggest score yet." As they drew closer, the battle damage became more apparent. Massive gouges scarred the hull, and entire sections had been blown away. Emergency foam had hardened over hull breaches, suggesting the crew had tried to save their ship before abandoning it. "Captain," Jorik's voice carried concern, "I'm detecting 3 large contacts approaching from the asteroid field. They're not broadcasting identification." The tactical display revealed 3 sleek Predator-class ships emerging from concealment. Thyra's blood ran cold as she recognized the distinctive angular design of Vorthan raiders. These weren't fellow scavengers looking for salvage. They were hunters looking for prey. "Unknown vessel," a harsh voice crackled through their communications. "You have entered Vorthan territory. Surrender your ship and cargo, and we might allow you to live as slaves." Thyra's hands trembled as she reached for the communication controls. The Vorthans were notorious throughout the galaxy for their cruelty. They never honored surrender agreements and took particular pleasure in torturing other species. "We're just scavengers," she transmitted desperately. "We have nothing of value except basic salvage equipment," Commander Krex of the lead Vorthan ship laughed coldly. "Your crystalline biology will fetch a high price in the slave markets of Terminus Prime. Your ship's quantum cores will power our weapons. Prepare to be boarded." The 3 raider ships moved into attack formation, their plasma weapons charging with deadly energy. Thyra closed her eyes and whispered a prayer to the cosmic winds. Her crew of 12 had families waiting back on Zephyr Prime. They didn't deserve to die in this forgotten corner of space. The Vorthan ships opened fire with warning shots, their plasma bolts lighting up the darkness around the crystal wind. Thyra watched her scanner displays, waiting for the killing blow that would end everything. That's when the dead human ship suddenly blazed to life with the fury of a newborn star. Weapon ports that had been hidden beneath false hull platings snapped open, revealing arrays of advanced human military hardware that defied everything the galaxy thought they knew about human technology. The human battle cruiser, Phantom Strike, erupted with devastating firepower that made Thyra's scanners scream with overload warnings. But these weren't the crude kinetic weapons typically associated with human military doctrine. These were something far more sophisticated and terrifyingly precise. The first salvo didn't destroy the Vorthan ships outright. Instead, it systematically crippled them with surgical accuracy. Engines disabled, weapons offline, life support compromised, all within the span of heartbeats. The feared raiders found themselves helpless prey floating in space. "This is Captain Marcus Wade of the Terran Defense Force," a calm human voice announced over all frequencies. "Vorthan vessels, you are surrounded and outgunned. Power down all remaining systems and prepare to be boarded." Commander Krek's response was filled with rage and confusion. "Impossible! You were dead! We monitored you for weeks!" No power, no movement, no life signs. Captain Wade's laughter carried no warmth. "Commander, you've been monitoring us for exactly 27 days. During that time, we've been studying your patrol patterns, your attack formations, your crew rotations, and your supply schedules. You didn't find us, Krex. We found you. Thyra watched in amazement as more human ships decloaked throughout the asteroid field. Her salvage vessel found itself in the middle of what was clearly an elaborate trap that had been months in the planning. The supposedly dead battlecruiser had been broadcasting subtle signals designed to attract both scavengers and the Vorthan raiders who preyed upon them. "You see, Commander," Captain Wade continued, "the Vorthans have developed an unfortunate habit of attacking civilian shipping in this sector. We decided to solve that problem by making you come to us." The scope of the human operation became clear as additional vessels revealed themselves. Stealth frigates, missile corvettes, and electronic warfare ships had been positioned throughout the nebula, creating a perfectly coordinated killing field. The humans had turned the entire star system into a trap. The Derelict ship was broadcasting frequencies that would appeal to salvagers like our Zephyrian friends here, Wade explained, almost conversationally. But it was also leaking rare element signatures that Vorthan raiders couldn't resist investigating. "We knew if we waited long enough, you'd come to us." Thyra realized she was witnessing something unprecedented in galactic history. Every species in the galaxy believed humans were technologically inferior, relying on brute force and numbers rather than sophisticated tactics. But this operation demonstrated a level of strategic thinking and technological capability that challenged everything. The galaxy thought it knew about humanity. The 3 Vorthan ships hung helplessly in space, their crews probably wondering how their feared reputation had crumbled so quickly against human ingenuity. Captain Wade's voice continued across all channels as more human ships revealed their positions throughout the Kepler Nebula. Thyra counted at least 15 vessels, all previously invisible to even her advanced Zephyrian sensors. "For those monitoring this engagement," Wade announced, "let me explain what you're witnessing. This is the USS Phantom Strike, officially listed as destroyed 3 months ago during the Battle of Rigel 7. In reality, we volunteered for something called Operation Ghost Fleet." Thyra's scanning officer Jorik pulled up historical records. On their database, the Battle of Rigel 7 had been a massive engagement between human forces and a Vorthan raiding fleet. Official reports listed 17 human ships as destroyed, including the Phantom Strike. The Galactic Council has repeatedly ignored our complaints about Vorthan raids on civilian shipping, Wade continued. "Apparently, the loss of human lives isn't considered diplomatically significant, so we decided to handle the problem ourselves, using methods the galaxy would understand. The lead Vorthan ship attempted to restart its engines, but human jamming technology kept their systems offline." Commander Krex was beginning to realize that his hunter-killer squadron had become the hunted. "Each ship in Ghost Fleet is officially dead," Wade explained. "We don't exist in any military database. We don't follow standard engagement protocols. We don't take prisoners back to civilized worlds for trial. We are the solution to problems that diplomacy cannot solve." A new voice joined the communication channel. "This is Captain Lisa Park of the destroyer Silent Thunder. We've been tracking Vorthan raiding operations for 6 months. 3 civilian convoys attacked, 2 colony ships destroyed, over 4,000 innocent lives lost. Today, that ends." Thyra watched her scanners as the human ships moved with coordinated precision. This wasn't random violence or revenge. It was systematic elimination of a threat that had been terrorizing the outer colonies for years. The Vorthans made a critical error in their understanding of human psychology, Wade continued. They assumed that because we value life, we would be unwilling to take life when necessary. They confused compassion with weakness. The tactical display showed human boarding pods launching toward the disabled Vorthan ships. But these weren't standard boarding operations. The humans were methodically capturing every piece of intelligence they could find about Vorthan operations. "Throughout the sector, we're not here for revenge," Captain Park added. We're here to gather intelligence about every Vorthan base, every raiding route, every slave market, every collaborative species that has been profiting from civilian suffering. This is just the beginning. Thyra began to understand the true scope of human planning. They hadn't just set a trap for these 3 ships, they were building a comprehensive database to eliminate the entire Vorthan raiding network that had been terrorizing the Outer Rim for decades. The galaxy was about to learn what happened when humanity stopped asking for help and started solving problems themselves. The human boarding operation proceeded with mechanical efficiency that both impressed and terrified Thyra. She watched through her sensors as human marines systematically captured the Vorthan crews alive, not for mercy, but for interrogation. Every piece of data about Vorthan operations was being extracted and analyzed in real time. Zephyrian vessel, crystal wind. Captain Wade's voice addressed them directly. You are free to leave whenever you choose. However, we'd appreciate it if you remain to witness what comes next. The galaxy needs to understand what they're seeing. Thyra found herself nodding, though she knew the humans couldn't see her. Something historic was happening here, and she felt honored to witness it despite the terror of the situation. Attention, all monitoring stations. Wade broadcast on emergency frequencies that would reach every listening post in the sector. This message is being transmitted to all major worlds, all military commands, and all galactic news networks. What you are about to witness is the birth of a new era in human military doctrine. The 3 captured Vorthan ships were being systematically searched by human teams. Advanced scanning equipment was pulling data from every computer core, every personal device, every scrap of information about the broader raiding network. For too long, the Galactic Council has treated human suffering as acceptable collateral damage in the name of maintaining peace. Captain Park's voice joined the broadcast. They've ignored our formal complaints about civilian attacks while maintaining diplomatic relations with species that profit from slavery and piracy. Thyra's communications officer picked up transmissions from across the sector. News networks were interrupting regular programming to cover the engagement. Military commands were scrambling to understand what they were seeing. Diplomatic channels were buzzing with activity as the implications became clear. Today marks the end of human patience with galactic diplomacy, Wade announced. Ghost Fleet operations will continue throughout contested space until the civilian shipping lanes are secure. We will not ask permission. We will not issue warnings. We will not take prisoners to comfortable cells on civilized worlds. The tactical display showed the 3 Vorthan ships being moved into position near a local star. Thyra realized with horror that the humans intended to dispose of the evidence completely. There would be no diplomatic protests, no prisoner exchanges, no lengthy trials that would result in comfortable exiles. This is Captain Janet Torres of the cruiser Night Hunter, a new voice added. We've completed data extraction. All intelligence regarding Vorthan operations has been uploaded to the Ghost Fleet network. 47 raiding bases identified, 12 slave markets located, 6 collaborative species documented. The scope of the intelligence operation was staggering. In less than 2 hours, the humans had gathered more actionable intelligence about Vorthan operations than the Galactic Council had collected in decades of diplomatic investigations. The age of human weakness is over, Wade declared. Any species that profits from attacking human civilians will learn what it means to face humanity when we stop playing by galactic rules. The final phase of the human operation unfolded with the same methodical efficiency that had characterized everything else. The 3 Vorthan ships, stripped of all useful intelligence and personnel, were guided toward the local star's gravity well. There would be no evidence remaining, no diplomatic complications, no lengthy trials. Galactic observers, Captain Wade's final broadcast began. You have witnessed the first Ghost Fleet operation. Let me be absolutely clear about what this means for the future of this sector. Thyra recorded everything, knowing that this moment would be studied by historians for generations. The humans were fundamentally changing the rules of galactic conflict, and every species would need to adapt to this new reality. Every Vorthan base identified through today's intelligence gathering will be eliminated within 60 days, Captain Park announced. Every slave market will be destroyed. Every collaborative species will face consequences proportional to their involvement in civilian attacks. The human ships began to disperse throughout the nebula, but their cloaking technology made it impossible to track their movements. They had become ghosts in the truest sense, invisible until they chose to reveal themselves. To the Galactic Council, Wade continued, we are no longer requesting your assistance in securing our shipping lanes. We are informing you that we will secure them ourselves, using methods that do not require your approval or understanding. Thyra watched as the last traces of the Vorthan ships disappeared into the star's corona. The three vessels that had terrorized. Civilian shipping for years had been erased from existence in less than 4 hours, along with all evidence of their fate. To civilian shipping throughout the Outer Rim, Captain Torres added, Ghost Fleet operations will continue until every predator species understands that human lives have value and that attacking our civilians carries a price that cannot be negotiated or appealed. The human ships began their final dispersal, vanishing into the cosmic background like they had never existed. Only the Phantom Strike remained visible, its hull still showing the carefully crafted battle damage that had made it appear derelict. This concludes the first Ghost Fleet demonstration, Wade announced. The next time you encounter a dead human ship drifting in space, remember what you've seen today. It might not be as dead as it appears. Thyra found herself alone in the Kepler Nebula with the supposedly derelict human battlecruiser. But now she understood the truth. The ship wasn't abandoned or destroyed. It was hunting, waiting patiently for the next predator species to reveal themselves. As she prepared to jump back to Zephyrian space, Thyra realized she had witnessed the birth of something unprecedented in galactic history. Humanity had stopped asking for help and started solving their own problems. The ghost ships would patrol the darkness, invisible guardians ensuring that no civilian convoy would face the terror of raiders again. The galaxy would never be the same.